Knox Jr. It's been a good story for Saskatchewan in the middle of that linebacking core. And Pop, the head coach and general manager, now taking a good hard look at that, and that moves the chains and gives Crompton a chance to maybe settle in and get into a rhythm here.
Flag comes down, and was there a flinch in that offensive line? Looks like there was.
Sideline reporter Lee Jones also telling us.
Montreal, number 54, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
The right tackle, Jeff Parrott.
Also telling us in the break that Jonathan Crompton had to switch helmets there in the commercial break, get a new helmet because he didn't get the communication he wanted from the bench and those speakers inside the helmet.
Yeah, you could see there were some issues. He didn't look comfortable and kept gesturing towards the sidelines on the opening series. 1st and 15. They set up the screen, and Rutley unable to make the catch. Maybe not as adept a receiver as Terrell Sutton.
Yeah, Brandon Rutley goes on this screen, and he's tracked by Tyron Brackenridge from the linebacking core, and that's why, because Brackenridge was so close, Jonathan Crompton had to put a little bit on that throw. Usually a screen pass is a little floater over the line, and the running back takes it, turns, and goes, but Brackenridge was too close for that. He might have got there.
Alouettes, the number 2 rushing team in the league. They are last in passing yardage per game. Crompton over the middle and incomplete, out of the reach of S.J. Green. And the punt team will have to come on.
Matt Webster, the safety for Saskatchewan, coming downhill there as S.J. Green on a couple back-to-back second and long situations now has run a similar route, one from the other side of the field, and he just kind of, again, one hand feeling the presence of Matt Webster, the safety, coming downhill.
Horace Beatty, 4th in the league in punting. He'll kick to the rookie Nick Dembski. Dembski fields it at his 27, and he's got something on the return. Up around midfield for Nick Dembski. And after a 42-yard punt, 25-yard return for the rookie. The Riders with the lead and the football at midfield. But defense prior to this series. Let's check in with Lee Jones on the sidelines.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Chris. Thorpe's message was quite simple to the defense. He said, everything they just showed us, we worked on this week. We've got to shut things down now. So clearly, it wasn't an issue with something they haven't seen before. The players just got to get things done straight when it comes to what they need to do with their schemes.
Been a little of the fast break offense from Saskatchewan, and Kevin Glenn going with the deep ball. So Noel Thorpe basically telling his guys, you know, they've seen that in practice. They've worked on it. Get out there and shut it down. We'll see if the message is received by the defense.
Boy, the message in Saskatchewan this week must have been attack, because they've gone after it against a highly touted Alouette defense. Another great field position start for the Roughriders at their 54. And here's Messam, the former Alouette. First carry, it's a good one. Close to 10 for Jerome Messam, number 2 in league rushing.
2 in league rushing. Not far off the lead, though, so we could see him with a big game this afternoon. Catch Andrew Harris. There's Naaman Roosevelt, who's got that downfield speed. A big 71-yard TD catch versus Ottawa. Xavier Fulton's up against John Bowman in this one this afternoon, and that's going to be a matchup we'll focus in on a little bit. The game inside the game.
Just short of the first down. It's 2nd and inches, and the jumbo team checks in with Corey Watman and Spencer Moore as the 2 Rough Rider tight ends. Might be a free play here for Kevin Glenn to air it out again. Gonna hand it off, and Messam chugs along for more.
That's it, up.
2 good runs for Jerome Messam against this Alouette defense.
91 career sacks for John Bowman, a couple versus Winnipeg. They're going to have a new guy in the middle. It's Nicholas Shorthill, their number 2 second-round draft pick from McMaster. He's in for Kyle Ellsworth in the middle. See if he can handle Messam. And that'll be shared, that responsibility, with Winston Venable, who leads the team in tackles.
Back-to-back 10-yard runs for Messam. He's 35 yards from taking the league lead. Here's Glenn out of the backfield. Anthony Allen drops the pass. A few drops by the running back Messam last week, and Allen unable to hold on.
Might have had some space too. It looked like when he was hitting the flat here, he had some room to turn up. You don't see a Montreal defender.
So Kevin Glenn's had a couple of drops in this opening quarter, or there could have been a lot more damage. 2nd and 10. Messam back in. Wide side, bag loose, and he should have the first down. Steps out at the 26-yard line, forced out by Mitch White.
Boy, Kevin Glenn is seeing it, whether he be pushing the ball deep or just checking it down and making his progressions and his reads. He finds Rob Bagg out there. He's throwing the ball on time. Looks real good. You mentioned a couple of drops, or his numbers in this first quarter. Excellent. He's 3 for 6, 98 yards right now, and a touchdown throw to Rob Bagg. But he's seeing it.
Go back to the twin tight formation, and Dressler goes in motion. And they pitch it near side. Messam turns more yardage, and it looks like another first down for Messam around the 16.
Got some balance going. Kevin Glenn seeing it. You know, when you project his numbers, 5 starts for Kevin Glenn this year. You know he didn't get the wins, but you project his numbers, it's astronomical. Over 6,000 yards for Kevin Glenn passing if he was healthy and available to start every game. And projected over 18.
Another trip to the red zone for the Roughriders. Wondered if Messam could assume the league lead today. He has 3 carries for 30 yards. Within 25 as Glenn goes on a roll. Directs traffic, throws, and behind the target, Roosevelt. Incomplete.
He was trying to wave to Naaman Roosevelt to try and get him to sit down in that hole. Number 2 receiver right here to the wide side of the field. And as Glenn rolled out, he tried to motion to him to just sit down there. That's exactly where he was trying to throw it. And you'll see Glenn trying to direct traffic here. No, just sit inside and I'll throw you open. Just missed him.
So 2nd and 10 from the 16. Glenn fires. Ryan Smith, does he have
I'm saying no.
it? It did bounce. Nearly a highlight reel catch for Ryan Smith right under the goalpost.
Take another look. He's juggling what does not have control yet. Touches the goalpost and then bounces.
So McCallum comes on once again.
69 eligible.
A 23-yard field goal attempt. 4 field goals last week. He has 2 in the first quarter today. And the Roughriders have a 12-1 lead. Well, a couple of years ago was the final game for Anthony Calvillo, and it came here at Mosaic. The career ending with this hit by Ricky Foley. An injury that sidelined Calvillo for good. With more, Lee Jones.
Anthony Calvillo now has a new job coaching with the Alouettes, sharing offensive coordinator duties with Ryan Dinwiddie, and he's just as competitive as a coach as he was as a player. After a loss versus BC earlier this month, he was the last coach to leave the locker room after the game, really lamenting the loss. In fact, Jim Pop says he's extremely detailed at the way he works things and is trying to get this offense to the same level that it was at when they won Grey Cups in 2009 and 2010 with Calvillo, of course, as quarterback.
It's interesting that he didn't call his own plays as a quarterback, and now he is the play caller on the sideline.
Yeah, and I actually talked to Jim Pop about that play calling. He said, you know, early in his career, he did call some of his own plays and decided that he didn't like it. He liked it better when the coach called it.
2nd and 10. Crompton on the money over the middle, and a catch made by S.J. Green for a first down. 15 on the final play of the opening quarter. It was a big one for the Roughriders. Started with an early interception, and then Kevin Glenn went to work. Touchdown pass to Rob Bagg. Turns out to be the most productive first quarter for the Saskatchewan Roughriders this season.
Yeah, Kevin Glenn is slinging it. He was 3 of 8 in the first quarter, but had 3 drops, like flat-out drops. So could be 6 of 8 for about 130 yards passing in that first quarter. Seen 2 things. One, Saskatchewan playing like they've got nothing to lose, and of course, with the 1-win season so far, that's not a surprise. The other is Montreal looks a little tentative to me. Not quite reaching for the ball for receivers, not quite hitting the target. That last throw from Crompton, his most accurate to S.J. Green.
And it's an important game for the Alouettes, trying to keep pace with Toronto, Ottawa, and even Hamilton in the East. Of course, they're in a crossover position at the moment, but that's not a certainty. Tristan Jackson steps up and not going to let B.J. Cunningham get loose, the newcomer in the Alouette offensive arsenal.
Just a little tentative in that first quarter. It is an important game for Montreal. And Kevin Glenn just attacking him out of the gate. A little bit behind there for Chip Cox defensively. Step behind on that coverage. No talk to him about fixing it defensively.
2nd down. Crompton hit as he delivers in front. Stamps. Can't make the catch downfield. Couple of flags.
Now a third one. Yeah, now a third flies. One is on the line of scrimmage. One of the flags I can see. One is in the defensive secondary for Saskatchewan.
Al Bradbury's crew trying to sort out all of the nylon.
Legal contact on the receiver, Saskatchewan, number 3. Objectional conduct, Montreal. Bounce at the line of scrimmage, repeat the down.
Well, just 2 calls after all that.
I'm not sure where the objectionable conduct came, because that was no number given there.
Looks like Crompton's still having issues getting the plays from the sidelines.
Unless that came from the bench, someone saying something from the Montreal bench caused a penalty down over. Now 2nd and long.
2nd and 13. Harris on the blitz. Crompton gets it away and almost intercepted by Jeff Knox Jr., the middle linebacker, who seems to be really growing into that role in the middle.
Drops right underneath this. He's lined up in his normal middle linebacker position, spying the back in Brandon Rutley. Then he drops out of there, lets that inside route go, and then slides out to the curl. Almost has himself a pick.
Pick by Beatty. Just 38 yards, and Dembski dropped at the 31. Mike Edom downfield on the cover team. See if Kevin Glenn can keep the pressure on here. The Red Blacks gets the game at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on TSN 1, 4, and 5. After this game, the Alouettes' next 4 are against Eastern opponents: Ottawa, Toronto, Hamilton, and then Toronto again. Chris Sweet going over things at the Alouette bench with his offensive line as the Roughriders take over. Just beyond the 30, it's Dembski with the catch, and he's bounced out after a short pickup of 4.
Got Jerome Messam established, and really, when I've watched Messam play this year, the only guy that, to me, has stopped Jerome Messam has been Jacques Chapdelaine at times, with play calling that went away from him. But other than that, the best of any running back other than his teammate. But if you're talking 50 runs or more, he has the best average in the league.
Allen in the backfield now on 2nd and 6, and the pass for Dressler incomplete off the back of Dominic Ellis, who was in coverage.
It's the first time that Kevin Glenn has looked in Weston Dressler's direction. His production has dropped off over the last 4 games a little bit, and we're tracking, and we'll give you the update after the halftime break, tracking how many times Weston Dressler is open on passing plays, how many times he's targeted, and how many times he makes that catch in yards that are gained. So we'll give you that update after halftime.
Stefan Logan is back. What a game he had against Winnipeg. 273 return yards. Fields this on one hop after a 46-yard punt, and runs out of real estate over by the Alouette bench.
Calgary-Winnipeg games, Chris, I said that I felt like Eric Rogers is the best receiver in the Canadian Football League right now, and the numbers certainly bear that out, but that's taking nothing away from this guy, who is 2nd in the league behind Rogers. Now he's a distant 2nd, about 300 yards coming into the week. But you take a look over those 5 years and what he has accomplished, and some of the just spectacular catches that S.J. Green has made. In order for Eric Rogers to hang on to that title, he's got to do it over time.
Here's Shigear with the catch on the slant and close to 9. My favorite S.J. Green catch was right here in one of my favorite games ever. That July 1st game that ended up 54-51 in overtime. 2010, the Grey Cup rematch game.
He's made some highlight reel catches.
Walking downfield early before the ball is caught across the line of scrimmage. Montreal, number 51. 10-yard penalty remains first down.
That's Christian Matt, the left guard, who draws the flag.
Just a bit off. You know, and guys are taking turns. That's the offensive line. Seen receivers not quite go up with both hands. We've seen accuracy just off a little bit from Jonathan Crompton.
50th game for Matt, who took 5 years to secure a starting job. Now they screen, and a big gain for Rutley as he crashes up to the 44-yard line and gets within 1 of a first down. And it was Christian Matt who helped spring him.
See Rutley right here beside Jonathan Crompton. I love the call, and Ryan Dinwiddie and Anthony Calvillo working together as the co-offensive coordinators, as Lee Jones reported moments ago. And the timing on that screen call, excellent. Get him in 2nd and short. Two former quarterbacks understand the importance of a screen.
2nd and about 2.5, and Carl Boldy,
no, sir.
He gets shut down.
Andre Monroe right there.
And at the bottom of the pile, Terrius George, the defensive tackle, shut it down.
Those 2 tackles right in the middle there, and they just get the good push, and no hole. Macho Harris makes first contact. Tough to move those 2 tackles.
So Beatty kicking to Dembski from the 25, and Dembski got a high hit. That was Edom up on the helmet, and he'll get the flag on that. That'll improve the Rough Rider field position. Off to a good start here. Been quiet of late. Weston Dressler, 77 yards receiving in his last 3 games.
Yeah, and you can see that he's been targeted about the same. I mean, it dropped off a couple in the last 2 games, but the numbers are dropping quite drastically. So I thought we'd track him. He does not have a catch today. He's been targeted 1 time.
fallen out of the top 10, currently 11th in receiving.
Here we go.
And there we go. And Dressler unable to bring that in. Looked like he was open. Marc-Olivier Bouillet, the safety, coming across in coverage, but a missed opportunity there.
Yeah, passing downs, we're also tracking whether or not Weston Dressler is getting open. And if it's not just Kevin Glenn going away from him, but you can clearly see there in that ISO, he was wide open and just missed.
Average field position start for the Roughriders today. They're 49-yard line, so they've enjoyed good field position. 2nd and 10 here from the 44. Here comes the blitz. Glenn trying to get out of there and throws it into the Rider bench to avoid the sack.
Blitz came from Kyrus Hebert, who lined up at the safety spot, then just hit this blitz on time. Made it very difficult for Glenn. Here comes the blitz, and Anthony Allen has to try and pick up that safety coming down.
On a receiver. Montreal, number 17. The 10-yard penalty. This will result in the first down.
Marc-Olivier Bouillet also up on that blitz, and Glenn had to throw it away. Flag will keep the drive alive.
Illegal contact against Billy Parker. The Alouettes have taken more illegal contact penalties than any team. That's their 18th. And a combination of defensive pass interference and illegal contact penalties now total 25 against the Montreal defense. Gives the Roughriders a first down at their 54. Glenn runs out of time again, hit as he threw, and that ends up at the Roughrider bench. And Dominic Ellis putting on some heat, and suddenly the Alouette defense getting stouter.
Yeah, Dominic Ellis is coming on a halfback blitz this time, and it's Jerome Messam who's getting his turn to play in the backfield again. He steps up and he takes him initially, makes the block first, but when Glenn goes up into that hole there, Dominic Ellis reacts back and disrupts the throw.
After a quick start, Glenn now 4 of 11. More heat, dumps it off underneath, and it's Rob Bagg, first down. Dropped at the 42-yard line. Gabriel Napton comes back, but there's a conversion on 2nd and long, 14 for Rob Bagg.
Great call by Jacques Chapdelaine here, because he's going to have Messam go out to the wide side of the field and draw the attention of the linebacking core for Montreal, and then just sneak Rob Bagg, who looked like he was going to block, leave him in the backfield, snuck him out on a receiver screen. That's a nice call by the OC for Saskatchewan.
Now it's Messam off the left side, got a hole, little stumble there. Down around the 37, ball came loose.